In 1981, the Germs released their album Germicide, live at the Whiskey. And my friend Jim and I are going to talk about it on this episode of Records with Ray.
You lead the way on this one.
So the funny thing about me and my good pal Jim here is that ultimately we kind of grew up listening to like a lot of prog rock, Beatles.
Yes.
A lot of bands that have a lot of musicianship. But for some reason, we both got turned on to the Germs live at the Whiskey. Which, when I first heard this album, I honestly thought, "Wow, this is the worst band I've ever heard in my life."
And that's what intrigued us so much.
And I remember. Well, let's go back a bit. When Jimmy and I both grew up in a town called Wilburton No. 2. It's a coal mining town in Pennsylvania. One street, 40 houses, not a lot going on, not a lot of people. No. But for some reason, there was a friend of ours. His name was Jackie, right?
Yeah.
He was a little older than us, and he was actually in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And he was stationed over in England.
Yeah.
And when he went over to England, came back a punk rocker, and
true punk rocker.
Yeah.
Not this radio pop punk stuff.
Yeah, and I remember he had his tape collection. He had Black Flag, the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, the Dead Kennedys, the Circle Jerks, Devo,
yes.
And I remember he let me borrow like a lot of those, and I copied them, and then pretty much that was my introduction into punk rock. But of course, there was like songs and structure, at least a little bit. And one tape that he had was the Germs live at the Whiskey, and
it's hard to talk about.
And it's like, I remember the first song. It's like rip them down, you know? and it's like they start doing it, and then whoever does the mix, like they forgot to add the drums in the mix. So like halfway through the first verse, you start hearing the drums. It's just
it's the best.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean, really, some of the songs on there, Darby Crash on vocals, I mean, you couldn't have anybody else on vocals for that album.
He had Belinda Carlisle.
Yeah, introduced the band.
It's like, yeah, I'm not in the band anymore because
some like their sluts or something.
Yeah, they're too You're like, what the hell?
You got to YouTube the Germs live at the Whiskey. It's fantastic album.
No, it's crazy, and I remember they do Sugar, and I love it because he doesn't even bother doing the verses.
Sugar.
He's just like, honey, and in between every song, he's like, damn it, when do you give me a beer?
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget the obscenities between songs.
Yeah, he's just like constantly like just like in there's one song where I start a song. It's like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you start the song, and like he understood the concept of doing that, but he'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't know if they were like incredibly smashed that night or what, but
no, yeah, I think they were. But every night the Germs probably.
Probably. On some of the songs on that album.
How about some of those lyrics?
Grand Old Flag.
How about some of those lyrics? Mr. Bourgeois,
I got a weapon, it's as deadly as life. Something like that.
Mr. Bourgeois, I'm looking for you. Da 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 da.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking.
What was this?
I
can anywhere that I can. I'm the fucking son of a Superman. I got a weapon. It's as I don't even know if he knows.
It's as deadly as life.
I don't even know if he knows what he's talking about.
He probably didn't. And I picked up another Germs album after hearing that because you were so inspirational. It's so inspirational.
You're like, I need to get another.
I need to get another one. I wanted it to sound like live at the Whiskey
because it can only go up, right?
But I bought Germs GI.
Oh, it's a
That
solid,
album's awesome.
it's a solid album.
But it's solid. It's like they don't sound nothing like
I remember
Live
it was
at
the
the
same
Whiskey.
thing. Yeah, it was the same thing. I bought that album, and it's like I think Joan Jett produced it or something like that.
Really?
And like they actually had their act together.
Yeah, it was actually a very good punk band.
Yeah, they are. But
Come up here.
yeah,
Come up here.
quit throwing stuff.
Yeah, or no, could you please throw more stuff? That was great.
He's a nut. And then grand whole flag.
So this is an album that influenced us musically. And
If there was anything that I learned from that album, though, seriously, is that I learned that you should to not take yourself too seriously as a musician.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah,
definitely. But that album stays in one of my top 10 picks.
Oh, I listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
It brings back memories.
Yeah, you see, good memories. Right?
And anytime I think that like I'm sucking as a musician,
I'll just put the Germs Live at the Whiskey on. I feel so much better about myself.
Yeah, exactly. It uplifts you. You want to cure depression?
Yeah, there you go.
Live at the Whiskey.
Live at the Whiskey. And have some whiskey while you listen to it.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
But yeah, it's great. I'm trying to think of some other songs on there, without
I'm a victim, leave me where I am. I'm a victim, leave me. I'm a victim, leave me. And there's like one song where he's going, they're going crazy.
Yeah.
And obviously he just goes, stop! And the whole band just stopped. And immediately he's like, what's next?
Yeah. And he goes, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, wow.
Darby Crash.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Hey gang, this is Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos, please click on the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, please give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts, well, when I'm not talking about records, I'm talking about my other love, Tiki. I have a show called Tiki with Ray. If you want to check that show out, just search Tiki with Ray on YouTube. It'll come up.